Walking into Strange Darling without knowing much about it was probably the best decision I made. With just a vague recollection of the trailer, I was prepared for the unexpected. What unfolded was a visually striking, suspenseful, and emotionally charged horror thriller that kept me on the edge of my seat. Unlike most films that are presented in a straightforward chronological order, Strange Darling breaks the mold with its 6-chapter structure, starting at Chapter 3. Initially, this approach felt disorienting, even distracting, but as the plot unraveled, it became clear that the nonlinear storytelling was a deliberate choice, meant to keep the audience guessing. It's not just a gimmick, it's a well-executed narrative technique that maximizes shock, surprise, and suspense. The film's structure reminded me of Christopher Nolan's style, where the puzzle pieces come together slowly, creating a more profound impact once the picture is complete. Kyle Gallner, an actor whose career has been steadily rising, delivers one of his most convincing performances yet. But it was Willa Fitzgerald who truly stole the show. Her portrayal of a deeply complex character was nothing short of mesmerizing, making it clear that she deserves more leading roles in the future. The film heavily relies on long takes that allow the actor's talents to shine, and both Gallner and Fitzgerald rise to the occasion, bringing an intense, almost hypnotic energy to the screen. Shot on 35mm film, Strange Darling is a visual feast. The cinematography captures the moody, eerie atmosphere of the rural Oregon setting, with shadows and light playing a significant role in building tension. The color palette is rich and evocative, with deep blues and vibrant pinks that create a dreamlike, almost surreal environment. The choice of 35mm film adds a texture and warmth that digital filmmaking often lacks, making every frame feel meticulously crafted. From the very beginning, Strange Darling doesn't shy away from violence. The action sequences are brutal, yet choreographed with a precision that is both thrilling and horrifying. The gore effects are on point, enhancing the horror without feeling gratuitous. But it's not all blood and mayhem, there's a surprising amount of dark humor woven into the film. This humor, paired with the cat-and-mouse chase sequences, gives the movie a unique tone, blending horror with a wry, almost Coen Brothers-esque sense of irony. In a year filled with horror films that range from the underwhelming Longlegs to the downright bizarre Cuckoo, Strange Darling stands out as a refreshing piece of genuine art. It feels untainted by studio pressures, presenting a story that is both engaging and thought-provoking. Despite its low budget, the film manages to create a rich, immersive world, leaving you wondering what could have been achieved with a larger budget. At its core, Strange Darling is more than just a horror film, it's a quasi-erotic thriller that delves into themes of toxic love, addiction, mental illness, and the desperate search for connection. The film's exploration of kink and consent is handled with a nuanced touch, adding layers of depth to the narrative. There's a dark romance at play here, one that feels both compelling and unsettling. It's the kind of story that resonates on a personal level, particularly if you've ever experienced a relationship that took a sudden, disastrous turn. The film's technical aspects are equally impressive. The editing, particularly in its rhythmic use of music, creates a seamless flow between the nonlinear scenes. The soundtrack is haunting, with jarring notes that keep you on edge, perfectly complementing the film's dark, hypnotic vibe. The production design, from the slightly unsettling sets to the carefully chosen costumes and cars, contributes to the overall feeling of unease that permeates the film. Of course, no film is without its flaws. While the nonlinear structure is largely effective, there are moments where the pacing slows down, which could test the patience of some viewers. The plot can also feel overly complex at times, with twists that seem designed to shock rather than advance the narrative. Additionally, some viewers might find the explicit scenes of sexuality unnecessary, feeling more forced than integral to the story. But these are minor quibbles in an otherwise well-crafted film. Strange Darling is a captivating, evocative thriller that leaves a lasting impression. It's a film that rewards patience and careful observation, offering a viewing experience that is both visually stunning and emotionally resonant. While it may not have the rewatchability of some blockbusters, it's a movie that will stay with you long after the credits roll. So, if you're a fan of thrillers, do yourself a favor, see Strange Darling in theaters while you can. It's a film that deserves to be experienced on the big screen, with all its twists, turns, and visual splendor. And as you leave the theater, you might find yourself asking, what other hidden gems